Welcome back, Sophomore Tea. It is your year two grind,
and we got tea to unwind.
I'm your host, Alexis.
I'm your co-host, Rhamel.
And today, we want to talk about how AI is literally everywhere. You got ChatGPT, you got Quillbot, you have honestly anything that TikTok is throwing at you. And so today, we do have Dr. G, Department Chair of MIS and member of the Presidential Taskforce on AI.
And he's on campus helping set up AI policies, curriculum, and even something called the RVAC AI Corridor, which is basically the AI hub on campus right now.
So thank you for being here with us today. We just want to ask you, how did you first get into AI?
Boy, that's a loaded question too. AI has been around since 1950. Mm-hmm. Okay. Historically, it rose and then crashed, and now it's rising again. Okay. I got into it because of my background in healthcare, and I'm working on a project with UConn Health, implementing AI to create treatment plans for patients. So that kind of pushed me into the forefront of this. It was an area of my interest, and that's how it all came together.
Interesting. And so, can you just describe to us all of your involvements again with AI?
All of my involvements. Well, I am the director of the AI minor. We have an AI minor on campus, which we're trying to get every student to take. I am involved in the healthcare field with the folks at UConn and doing some work there. We've got a product and a company that we're working with, that we're working on that end of things. I become kind of the go-to person for AI on campus. So when people want tours of the AI corridor or they want other types of things done, they contact me, and if I don't directly do it, I push them off to the right person to do it. Okay, working right now with some local community groups, doing some community engagement. I'm not sure if you're familiar with, the most recent one is the AI Farms Boys School. It's a very exclusive, one of these $50,000 a year schools for high school. I'm working with them to bring a group of those folks in here to do some AI training. So personal interest, long history, there's a short answer, and things that are happening currently.
Gotcha. To go over that, what are like some myths that people ask you, like students or just people around that you know about AI?
Myths, well, before we started, I told you one of my favorite statements is like, expecting AI to write your essay is like expecting a calculator to do your philosophy homework. It doesn't work that way, okay? Myths are that if you expect a professor who's reasonably trained in this field not to be able to catch the AI-generated stuff, you're wrong. Okay, I mean, I have a top 10 list that I share with my MIS 202 students as part of my teaching in that field in the AI minor. And there are basically top 10 ways that you can really identify that something is AI generated. We don't, at this point, have any real way to downgrade people in grading and whatnot, right? There's not an accurate AI tool to detect AI, right? But you've spent enough years in the field, you know that okay, this was written by AI. The student didn't write it. And the number one way, and I tell all my colleagues this, is to make sure that personal experiences are part of any essay that you write or any work that you do. Because AI doesn't have any personal experiences unless it's been trained on it, right? So all my questions are like, so connect this to your life. Just tell me things about you, and that makes essay writing and work much more difficult to fudge with the AI tools that are out there. And let's be honest, we're talking about generative AI, not generalized AI, which are two very different things.
Right.
Okay?
So, talking about you being in the field for a lot of years, what does the Presidential Task Force do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, we meet about twice a month. Okay. One of the big jobs we do is faculty teaching and training in order to get faculty up to speed. The provost handles, supports an annual AI conference for faculty, and we spend a couple of days in Alumni Hall. We all know where that is. And it's really about teaching and training around AI. So we have keynote speakers and those types of things. And we have workshops in Bell and A and B and places like that in order to let people connect up to their area of interest. Okay. We do some policy work. We do have a systems office that we have to generate. We have to follow their policies. We assist them by giving feedback on policies that they write. And we work with the IT committee. There's a big IT committee here on campus to try to incorporate more AI tools into the student space.
Got it. To go for that, like, how is CCSU using AI like responsibly, like with the curriculum and the response? What am I saying? What am I trying to say? Yeah, how are we using it responsibly in like the school and like the curricular and in the AI hub right now?
I don't think there's any real groups on campus yet that are integrating AI into their workflows. So when we talk about using Gen AI or some other form of AI, we really talk about implementing it into a workflow in order, in my world, to take the mundane away from the folks that have the smarts to do the higher end jobs. Now that said, I'll give you a real life example where we're testing it right now. I have a student group of exactly 6 students, and we are looking at using machine learning so we can look at historical trends over the past 8 semesters to develop course caps.
Okay.
So we want to offer the right number of sections for people so that they can take courses, right? And we're looking at it, I'm working with a group of students to develop a system in Python, if you know the Python language, in Python to allow the dean's office to understand better what the course cap should be. That assists the dean's office, it assists the department chairs, but most importantly, it assists the students in making sure that there's the right number of sections available. So that's an applied project we're doing right now. And we try to do one of those a semester as part of the AI minor. It applies other places. So that's probably our first foray into doing real workforce management type stuff where we're assisting the workforce and doing things. Hope that answered your question, but that's, that's the type of stuff that we're doing.
No, that's amazing. I feel like that kind of goes into like my next question. I was gonna ask where and how students can start using AI responsibly on campus.
Well, I mean, that could take hours to unpack. We'll do it in a few minutes, okay? First of all, students generally don't know that AI is a much bigger picture than just generative AI.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff that goes on behind it. Cue me now, take my class. Okay. But students, there's a lot to learn that makes you better at using AI. Okay. Responsible use, there's a CARE framework, which I'll only talk about the first item in the CARE framework. Again, take my class. The CARE framework, the biggest thing you can do with generative AI is to develop a context so it understands what you're trying to accomplish, okay? So uploading draft documents, uploading instructions from the professor, uploading that kind of stuff to an AI chatbot that understands those things, okay? Assist you in having it generate better outcomes, better output, okay? Because remember, AI is really just about, or generative AI is really just about predicting what the next word in a sentence should be. It doesn't have any real logic. It's trained based upon a large set of records of articles to know how the English language works, or whatever language works, right? So it's trained on those types of things, and all it's ever really doing is trying to predict the next word in a sentence. So understand that. That's why it's easy after you've read, 1,000 pages of this stuff, that it's pretty easy to recognize it because you see what it's doing.
I see.
Gotcha. Now I want to dive a little bit deeper in the AI minor. Can you go a little bit more into that for us?
Sure. It's a 12 credit minor. I shouldn't say fairly short. 12 credit minor. Did we increase it to 50? We just went through a change. I apologize. I have to remember what we just did. There are There's a library course in the core because, believe it or not, generative AI is built around library science and a lot of what happens there. So there's a course there. There is the course that I teach, which is Introduction to the Application of AI. And it's important to understand that, it's important to understand that we're talking about the application of AI. If you want to create large language models and those type of stuff, there are other programs on campus. The application of AI Monitor is about, and this is what 90% of the employers want out there, 95%. They want you to know how to apply it to enhance their workflow, to make things less expensive, operate faster, those types of things.
Yeah.
So there's that course, and then there's a Python course that you're required to take, because Python is the programming language of AI these days. One of the core ones anyway. And then there's a couple of electives. Okay, so there's a whole battery of electives that we encourage you to take the pair together. So for example, there's an intro to robotics and AI, and there's an advanced robotics and AI. Okay. There's an introduction to analytics and AI, okay, and there is another course that marries up with that. Okay, so 15 credits done. You're allowed to double count 6 credits. If they apply to your major and your minor, you can do that. So it's really designed to be student friendly and help you get through understanding what generative AI, what AI in general is, and what generative AI is, and how you actually can use it to enhance your workflows. And it's, we've got about 50 students that have enrolled already, and it's been very successful.
That actually sounds really exciting.
It does sound good.
Like, I personally would never dabble in that just because, I don't know, I'm on Instagram, and I don't know if you've seen these Instagram, videos.
I have an Instagram account.
With the AI and the cat videos. I cannot. But, I won't be able to tell what AI is in the future. And so I was going to ask, if, this is just a little outside question, if AI could fix just one student problem,
what would it be?
What would it be? What should it be?
To fix one student problem, helping them learn how to write.
Oh my God.
You opened that up. I'm sorry.
No, fair point, clock it. Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously. Write an essay, upload it, say, help me with the grammar.
Yeah.
It's good at that type of stuff. Telling it, here's the topic, write the essay, it's not good at that kind of stuff. But it's good at saying, I've written this, don't change very much, but help me with the grammar so that it's correct.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's, you got to look historically. We talked about this before. Google, Wikipedia, whatever, academics all over said, oh, it's going to destroy critical thinking. The best way to get the most out of AI is to give it your ideas, and to give it your ideas and then ask it to do some of the mundane things. Okay, that's really the best way to do that.
Amazing.
Now, if you had to make AI a survival kit for students, what would you put in it?
Survival kit. Well, I think it's important that students know some things about AI that they may not know.
Okay.
Okay, so I think there's a piece of this that is, what are tokens, what are prompts, things like that. There's some core techniques that you need to learn to actually get the output that you want to get, okay? Yeah. And the number one, the largest, after learning what tokens are and how they throttle your AI and all that kind of stuff, that's a 20-minute lecture, it's not a big deal. It's easy to learn, okay? After that, it's understanding how much generative AI really needs context to understand what you're asking, right? You just go out and ask it a dumb question. Yeah, I'll give you an example. You forgive me, and I should have had the graphic here. So you take a picture of a young boy who's got his foot on a soccer ball and a dog standing next to him, right? You tell AI to remove the ball, and there's only certain AIs that do image work, so you got to pick the right chatbot. Yeah. Okay. You tell AI to remove the ball and fill it in with grass. I use this example in my class, and I show them the pictures. First thing it does is it removes the ball, but it also removes the boy's shoe, his socks, okay, and then filled it in with grass, and you got this kid standing out here with his foot hanging in the air with no ball under it, okay?
Yeah.
It's very funny. So then you say, okay, so then you reprompt it and you say, well, go back to the original picture, leave the boy's shoes and socks on, but take out the ball and fill in the grass so it looks natural.
Yeah, like a labyrinth.
Okay?
Yeah.
It actually does it. I forgot to tell it to keep the socks on, and one of my students in my class said, he has no socks on, what's happening? So it's kind of funny. But the rule is there, that is something that we call chain of thought prompting.
Okay.
Okay? So you're sitting at a chat bot, you're talking to it, it's giving you stuff, not quite right. The chain of thought, okay, I'm going to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Okay? That's probably the most common form of prompting a chatbot, is the chain of thought stuff. Most of us, me included, don't necessarily think all the ramifications through of everything we ask for, okay, until we see what it actually does.
Yeah.
Okay? So AI it's not very smart. Okay? It looks it, but it's not very smart. Okay? And it's highly specific.
Yeah.
So.
No, honestly, I agree because there's videos out there about, this sounds crazy, but people will be on Instagram and they're like me whipping ChatGPT.
What an odd thing to
An
say.
odd thing to say. Because honestly, it does need context, and you can ask it to do something simple, and you're like, no chat, do it again. No chat, do it again.
That's right.
And so, speaking about AI, I know a lot of professors, they have those checks, or there's not an official system to check if AI is really there or not. But do you think professors are embracing AI or fighting against it today?
This might be something you want to cut, but I'll be honest, okay? I think that there is a lack of understanding of what AI really does,
Yeah.
but on the student side and on the professor side, okay? As I said, writing your essay versus doing your philosophy homework, both basically a calculator, okay? Not good at either one, right? I have a top 10 list of ways to detect if something is AI. If students would just learn that, they would know that what they're generating isn't very good.
Yeah.
Okay? So to answer your question, again, like I said about Google and Wikipedia and that kind of stuff, professors need training in what it really can and can't do.
Yeah.
And honestly, recognizing the AI-generated stuff. I had a student once who copied and pasted, hit the copy button, and then included the question at the end where AI asked what it could do next. I think I really knew that was AI-generated, So, but professors need training. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Okay, no problem.
Wow. Now, I feel like you kind of answered this, but probably not. But should students be scared of AI?
Just like every technology that's ever come along, whether it was the Gutenberg printing press or any of the other technology you can think of, it changed the way jobs are done.
Yeah.
It changed the workflow, and it changed the mindset or the type of training that you have to get in order to be able to work in a particular workplace. That's why I think the AI minor and those types of minors are so important.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, jobs are going to change. Okay. But a couple things are true. You can never have really good AI without the human in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay? You've got to be engaged enough to recognize that stuff doesn't really generate out of AI the way you think it does. You have to be engaged enough with the material, okay? So the human in the middle is probably the most important thing. Next thing is over-reliance. That's going to do my homework. No, it's not. It's not. You're going to get C's and D's if you do that, okay?
Yeah.
And those are probably the two biggest points that really are issues that you're asking about.
Okay. Word. Got it.
I don't
Do you
know,
want to ask the next question, or you want me to ask the next question?
I'm just I feel very intrigued right now. I want to see what's the coolest use of AI that you've seen. It could be either on campus or beyond campus.
Well, on campus, there's some pretty cool stuff. There, in the student center, there's the hologram.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that about? I don't
Well,
really know what that is.
It's about what's happening in the AI lab, okay? There's a faculty workroom down there where there's a hologram you can actually talk to, and we're trying to train it to know things about the campus, so you can actually ask it questions about the campus. Okay? It's interesting because you can train it on any topic you want to, and we got a human that talky to you and answers questions back and things like that. The other thing is the dogs. I don't know if you've seen the robotic dogs.
Yeah.
That we have here on campus.
Yeah,
They're
those are
very
cool.
cool.
Yeah, those are really
okay,
cool.
and they're very useful to learn how to program them. You know, they've got the dog that can get the bomb to do the bomb sniffing and that kind of stuff.
Wow. The AI dogs?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, they don't work what we call agentically. In other words, they don't self-motivate and do their things for themselves.
Yeah.
But they need somebody to steer them and prompt them. But they literally are AI dogs. They have AI built in.
They're so cool.
Okay, so there's some of those, and you can let them run free to like map the campus, let's say, and they'll do that, and you can just say, "Go. Here's your geographic boundaries.
Yeah.
Just walk for the entire day and come back and show me a map."
That would be terrifying to see, but
That would be terrible.
I think it's really cool. Okay, so we are gonna do like a quick like lightning round type of questions. You know,
In other words, talk fast. Okay.
So I have a couple of questions. You could give. It doesn't have to be like a quick answer. I just want to see like your take on it.
Okay.
Okay.
about it.
So my first answer, which
Question.
is very. My first question.
Right.
Right. Exactly.
Like it. Exactly.
It was
My-
his time, but that's okay.
First question. It actually has to do with what a lot of people are doing now, like today, because people have the over-reliance with AI and like ChatGPT.
Yes.
And so, I may or may not be guilty of this, but would you let AI be your therapist?
Ooh.
No.
Oh, right. Don't take my job.
Elaborate.
Okay. You're elaborate. It only knows what you trained it on.
Yeah.
So I suppose I say no because I'm not, as an undergraduate in psychology, I know a lot about psychology and therapy,
Right.
okay? Not as much as a clinician does, but enough to be dangerous. And the reality is, I don't trust it,
Yeah.
Right.
okay? Most AI chatbots don't give you the sources for their information
Got it.
unless you specifically ask for them. And then about 60% of the time they hallucinate and then give you sources that are made up.
Yeah.
Okay? So without knowing where, therapy is like healthcare stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? And without knowing where the information comes from, I'm not able to trust it. So
That's a fair
that's my
point.
core answer.
You heard
Yeah.
them, folks. You heard them.
Okay. All right. So honestly, really, we thank you for coming. Do you have like any advice to put out there? Like
words of
we know
wisdom.
AI isn't evil. It really is about a balance, working smarter,
And harder.
not like a smarter, not harder. Try not to avoid it. But like, what's any last thing you would say?
Learn about it.
Yeah.
Don't expect it to be everything for you. Learn what it really is. Learn what it does. Take our minor. Learn what it is. Learn what it does. And I keep using this word. I'll use it again. Incorporate it into your workflow. Right? You're studying and you want to upload a list of study questions and have it quiz you.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay,
I do
you
do that.
have a
Low-key,
picture that you need to have modified, and if you're like me, that's not my forte. Is modifying digital pictures. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
So I'll throw it into AI. And if you want to make fun of people, I was having ear surgery about 3 years ago, and I told AI to draw me a funny picture of an ear surgeon, and it had great big ears, and it was basically a mouse. It was really funny. So I showed it to my surgeon just before I went. And he laughed. I'm not sure if that was good or bad, but it is what it is. So the message is be careful how you use it.
Yeah.
Learn about it. Be careful how you use it. Integrate it into your workflow. Don't expect it to do your work for you.
Ooh, write that down. Write that down.
Write that down. Right,
Again,
right.
thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting
learned
me.
a lot. I'm gonna be responsible now with my AI. Thank you guys so much for watching again. We want you guys to stay tuned for where we're at. We have
TikTok.
We got
Instagram.
We got
YouTube.
and
Facebook.
maybe Facebook. We'll try to see about that. And so make sure you guys are having a wonderful semester, and we'll see you soon. Peace.